Hi Jay, finally, welcome.
Hi, thank you for
Welcome.
having
Welcome to the
me.
podcast.
Thank you so
Dare to
much.
Dream podcast, where we talk about big dreams, unshakable belief, and a greater vision for our nation.
Yes. Thank you for having me. I believe this is the first.
Yeah, yes, this is the first one, and yeah, but I'm very much honored to have you here because I still remember the first time I saw you. Remember when I attended our cash flow game, right? So
Yes.
I still remember you with the girl with the red hat,
That was 2017.
2017.
Yeah,
Right.
yeah. It's been a while now. Parang like 8 years ago.
Grabe, yun na pala katagal yun? 8
Oo.
years?
And there was a pandemic in between.
Oo nga pala. Well, actually, I was still single that time. So, actually, I got married in 2018. So, marami na talaga nangyari pala.
Marami talaga.
So, since then, I have 2 kids. And you have...
Amazing experiences.
Right. Yeah. So, yeah, you've always come across to me, at least to me, in the first time I saw you and have conversations with you, you've always come across to me as somebody na malaki yung mga pangarap sa buhay. So is that something na you grew up with?
Mm. Right. It's an interesting, because 2017 I was like very young.
Mhm.
2017.
How old
And
were you then, if you don't mind? I know this is
I was-
not a very good question. So okay, go ahead. You don't have to answer.
I was already years old. Ayan, so that was really an interesting, I don't know, point of view, and I really like that you shared that. Kasi I felt like it was being here in Manila is already it's a big leap
Mhm.
coming from the province, right? And I was the first. I say it's like a big deal because I was the first to have finished college in our family,
Wow.
or across sa aming magkakapatid and my pinsan.
Mhm.
So that was for me parang ang malaking miracle, which was a few years back. If you look a few years back, parang lagi akong kinakabahan like makakapunta sa aral. Like, would I be, there's always that fear of me growing up sa aming province na, there's a rise of teenage pregnancy.
Mhm.
And then I always have that fear. So for me na 2017 and meeting people, parang for me, it's really like a grabe ng grace. No?
Mhm.
Parang it's magic.
Yeah, so right now, obviously, fast forward, you are now with your book, right?
Yes.
So you have written your first book. So to
I
our
did,
friends here, so
yes.
it's called The Worker. And I actually read the book. A lot of people right now. I myself is a breadwinner for the family. I have lots of friends who are also breadwinner. And I think they can relate to your story, the struggles of being a breadwinner, being the provider of the family. And did you choose to be a breadwinner? Or it was a necessity.
I had a chance to be interviewed by a college student for their thesis,
Mm.
and it happens to be breadwinner yung topic nila. And one of their questions is that, what makes a breadwinner?
Mm-hmm.
Right? What makes a breadwinner? And I think, well, when it comes to being a breadwinner kasi talagang pera ang pinag-uusapan natin.
Mm.
So actually by definition, breadwinning is that you're providing like majority of the financial needs of a specific set of people. And by the way, this book is for breadwinner siblings.
Okay.
So kasi meron din tayong mga breadwinner parents,
Mm.
meron din tayong mga breadwinner siguro grandparents.
What do you mean breadwinner parents?
uh,
Aren't is it not supposed to be that all parents are breadwinner?
they are supposed to be. That's in an ideal,
Mm.
of course, community that parang yun yung expectation natin. But there is apparently also like breadwinner solo parents. May mga ganun din pala.
So you mean
na-
for solo parents, instead of just providing for their kids, for their children, they are providing for others? Is that what you mean by the
Ah.
word breadwinner? Or
So there there are cases in marriage or in families that the husband and wife are separated.
okay.
So ang nangyayari is that only one of them is providing for
Okay.
what is left.
Okay.
So and then apparently there is also breadwinner grandparents,
Mm.
especially sa mga naiwan na
Okay. Ako, yeah.
yeah. And for my case, it's the breadwinner siblings. Ito naman po yung mga breadwinner, ay mga kapatid who are breadwinning for their
Mm.
mga kapatid nila, primarily.
Mm.
Though it happens, because we run a study, nag-run tayo ng survey, we found out that aside from that, on top of we are providing for our siblings, we're also majority of breadwinner siblings, they are also providing for their parents,
Mhm.
their grandparents,
Yeah.
at saka ibang family members. So,
Mm.
so yeah, I breadwinners are there is a rise if you're going to ask me, is this by choice? So it's not it's not a yes and no question.
Mhm.
It's not a simple yes and no question. So it's a yes in yes kasi there is a need.
Mm.
So there is a need to provide or to at least augment yung kakulangan ng magulang of their parents, right? So it's a yes kasi in a family of millionaires, there's no need naman
Right.
for someone to for
To step
example,
up because
yeah.
everybody has perhaps their own, they have the capacity.
Exactly. So there is a need. There's definitely a need for kapatid to step up. Right?
Especially in the Philippines.
Especially
the way
in
you're being
the
set up, yeah.
That's correct, yeah. At the same time, interestingly, from the interviews that we've got, we find out na sa perspective ng siblings, halos majority of them, sinasabi na hindi ako pinilit.
Mm.
Hindi ako pinilit ng magulang ko, I choose to.
Right.
Right? So,
Mm.
those are perspective na I cannot say it's a yes or no, but I refer to what is the reality. There's a need, that's why
Mhm.
nagkaroon. And then, the choice din ni kuya or ni ate na to help the parents or to help the siblings.
But how about you? How was it? So ano talaga siya? Yeah.
So, yeah, there was a need, actually. Ako nga, I don't, parang nakapag-aral ako because of scholarship.
Okay.
Parang, I am not kind of a student na kailangan kong mag-aral kasi mawawala ang scholarship ko. And then the possibility na hindi ako makapagtapos. It's like it's on the brink of danger na makapagtapos ako if hindi ako mag-aral.
Mm.
Right? And then when I was sent here in Manila through a scholarship din to study for a university,
Where did you get this scholarships?
ano ng parents ko heard it. It was offered, it's a partnership with Makati and Panawe during that time.
I
And
see.
fortunately, narinig siya ni Mama.
Mm.
And I was sent na, yung exam. I made it, I made the prep. And that's one, and I remember, sobrang nagulat talaga ako from the province dito sa Manila. So nagulat ako sa setup, like, ang dami, like the behavior, the
traffic.
buildings, the traffic, yes, expenses,
Yeah.
with the perspective of someone who's growing their own food. And at one point, as a student, kung pinadala ko dito, talagang there are moments, like a full month na wala akong allowance. Parang,
So did you just walk to school?
fortunately, walking distance yung school
Okay.
namin. So that's good. But for food, I could not survive that without money. So I think those are, that is one of the stories that coming from na I don't want my siblings to go through.
So that's why you're trying to
Yeah,
help them.
to give them the chance, parang mag-fight siya.
Nice. So when did the writing book came in? It's like, is it part of your dream? O kailan mo siya naisip to write a book about it?
Yeah, as a child, I did do some poetry and all that, right? Pero I don't think nasa hinata ko siya na, one day I'll be a writer. And it's not in my hindi siya kasama ng vision ko. But it came, the idea of me writing came when, so once I graduated from college, a month after, nag-work na ako. And at the very moment, naging provider na ako ng mga kapatid ko. Right? So, and I had been through that experience, parang 2-3 years after talagang naramdaman ko rin yung bago.
Mm-hmm.
Walang natitira, and then the burden of worrying a lot, the anxiety of worrying a lot. Na parang, gusto kaya ako yung buhay ko after, next year na to ulit.
So you worry na parang hanggang kailan kaya ito?
Oh, I don't see like when is the end of this,
Mm-hmm.
right? Parang, in a way, parang hindi ko din nakikita yung, the way my parents were, ganun pa din. Like, there's still a need for me to help, them financially. So that's why I help my siblings and my cousins as well. And napagod talaga ako like after 2-3 years that
So, okay,
I was looking-
napagod ka, but were there also times na you find like fulfilled by doing it, or everything is parang a burden to you at that point?
That's a good question. That's a tricky actually. That's a tricky, and I find that pattern in the breadwinners that we talk with right now, or at least last September we have spoken with 30 people, interview and then survey, and that's a recurring question that's happening on what's happening in their lives. So for me personally, like natutuwa naman ako na kaya ko na mag-provide, and it's even a grace na at least kahit pa paano may trabaho ako sa
Right,
kanya provide.
right.
But at the same time, despite being buti na lang, andito ako, there is still, hindi pa rin naman natin maiwasan mag-worry, especially
Yeah,
if the, back then I remember yung una kong saan, it's 30K,
Mm-hmm.
and we're living in kami, ako tsaka pinsan ko with me, here in Metro Manila, and my kapatid got paid their full tuition, and their full need. So there's just so much that you can stretch with that
Of
amount.
course. Yeah.
Yeah, so, and we understand that every time that the worry of money, talagang hindi natin siya kayang pagkasabi. It occupies the mind, especially tulad nga dito sa Manila where things are, you have to buy them, right? Wala ka nang talbos ng ano dyan, sa tabi-tabi, right?
Everything is money.
To buy,
No?
yeah. So, hindi mo talagang, while you are as a breadwinner, you have like, buti na nakakapag-provide ako. Like, grateful ka sa partner, buti may trabaho ako at kaya ko mag-provide. Buti at gusto ng mga kapatid na mag-aaral. But at the same time, hindi ko rin maiwasan na, shucks, yung,
Paano na ako?
Oo, yung 500, 1 week pa yung sahod. Like, those are not easy things to go with. And then kasama din dyan, and I'm also growing, right?
Right.
Yeah, ako din, bata din naman ako nun eh.
So is it affecting your relationship as well, love life, and all that?
Yeah, I mean, I'm like, there are 3 areas that I felt like compromised: physical, psychology, and then the mental, and then of course the spiritual, the relationship with God. Like, yeah, there's that anxiety, the war. Parang 2-3 years, eto na naman ako. Tapos next year, it would be the same thing. Right? And that's the one. So, and during that time, I was looking for answers. Bakit nga ba? Why is this happening to the Filipino family? Right? Why? Ano pa ba kaya kong gawin? Ano ba, how can I change the trajectory of the story? And when I was looking for answers, wala akong mahanap. Wala akong mahanap that is specific for breadwinner siblings. So, I tried to look for dito and then abroad, wala din akong mahanap. And then, pandemic happens. Everything was quiet, lahat tayo nagsipagtago, and all that. And it's, in a way, it's a gift kasi we got to the noise that is happening around,
Right.
mas silent siya, and we got to listen to ourselves. And that's what happened to me. Parang, parang tinanong ko na, kung hindi ko mahanap yung sagot, what if, kaya kung I can, journal and then provide some answers. And sumabay noon, around 2021 and 2022, I already stopped providing for my siblings, Right? But of course, that is a conversation.
Right.
A lot of conversations bago siya na-stop.
I can relate to this because I am a breadwinner myself. We are four in the family. I am the eldest. Are you the eldest?
I'm second.
Second. Okay. So I'm the eldest, and after high school, instead of going to college, I opted to work, and then nag-abroad pa ako for another 3 years in sa Mexico, sa Guatemala. Also because to help my siblings. So, and then finally when everybody nakapagtapos na, or at least at that time I think yung isang kapatid ko na lang yung parang nasa 4th year, nasa fourth year na talaga. And there will come a point na I was financially challenged. So because I went into a couple of businesses and failed. So I was really struggling financially. So I was at that point as well na, what do I do now? I cannot provide anymore. But at the same time, there's that thought na, ano kayo mangyayari sa kanila if I don't provide? And the feeling of guilt also came. When I look back, allowing them to figure it out for themselves actually worked best for them. But so I can feel you when you are in that situation, right? That you're trying to have conversations with them, and but yeah, I mean, it's I think one of the things that really got me there is that by giving them more than enough, we're actually creating a culture of dependency, which is not helpful to you as the breadwinner because it's just gonna develop resentment, but also for them it's not good for them because it's like they are birds that they can fly, but because they're not practicing how to fly, they're gonna lose their wings eventually. So yeah, that's so from there, how finally, so would you say right now that finally you have at least gotten out of that mindset that forcing yourself to provide or what happened after that?
Yeah, so fortunately around 2021, 2022, I was able to stop me providing for my siblings and my other family members. So, and I wanted to highlight this kasi I think a lot of breadwinner siblings, one of the fight they're going through is that I think when they think of stopping, it's completely stopping. Hindi talaga.
Right,
But
yeah.
from my experience, hindi rin.
Yes.
Like, kasi one of our nature kasi, especially that we're Filipinos, mapagmahal naman talaga tayo
Yes,
sa
oo.
family. So, this is my invitation din sa mga other breadwinners na okay, matakot naman stop na mag-provide. Kasi when you do, it doesn't mean na talagang totally stop. You can still help.
But at least mas magaan.
Small ways,
On what you can, yung kaya mo lang.
bearable.
Oh, yes.
That's correct. Now, I noted some of the emotions that you mentioned earlier, and I wanted to share more of this. Kasi it always comes up in our conversation with breadwinners. You mentioned multiple times about guilt, right? So truly, guilt and shame is something that every time the breadwinner is trying to stop from their breadwinning, this is something that follows them.
Yeah.
Ito yung parang pumipigil sa kanila. Like, ano na lang ang mangyayari sa kanila, ano na lang ang sasabihin ng pamilya sa atin. And I feel like, so by the way, there's a difference with the shame and guilt as defined by a social scientist. Sabi niya, shame is when you say that I am a mistake, and guilt is that I did something wrong, right? So shame is more of the identity. Anong sasabihin sa akin ng ibang tao? So guilt is when pinabayaan ko sila. Like
Right.
that's the feeling. And this is a lot of conversation. And I had allotted, so much of that in that conversation, kasi sobrang, it's a big thing talaga. Um, sa life ng mga breadwinners, this is something that is keeping them sleepless during the night, no? And a lot of that talagang hinanapan natin ng way. We research on that and then we find some, bakit nga ba ganun? Tayo ng research, bakit nga ba tayo? Especially in the Filipino culture, wherein that
So
is, talagang, ano yun, that's really a big thing, you know, and that's one, you know, guilt and shame. We talk a lot of that in the book, and we have provided some, especially in a psychological level, kung how we can action that, no? Para hindi naman natin iwanan yung mga breadwinners natin na on their own.
Yeah.
So,
I think I like yung sinabi mo na it doesn't really mean stop na ka totally 100%. Paunti-unti siya, gradual. At the same time, you are actually more free to give when alam mo yung parang when they have their own way to earn money, to earn income. So you are actually free to give, and sometimes nobody's stopping you, right? So I think that's one of the good culture with Filipinos as well. Ang problema lang is na-abuse. We go too much of the providing na parang it's like ikaw yung nagpo-provide and then paano ka naman? In fact, if something happens to me as the breadwinner, what will happen to everybody? Right? So in fact, to me, the way I counter the guilt and the shame perspective, at least for me, was a change in the perspective.
yeah.
So instead of looking at us nakakahiya, hindi ako tulong or baka anong mangyari sa kanila, I actually thought, you know what, they're very capable. They're very capable. I believe in them. And actually the reverse is true. When I was giving money and giving everything, it's like saying that, hey, I don't believe that you can make your own income, and therefore here's the money.
Yeah.
So, but it's more of I actually believe that they are big people. And so when I change my perspective to that, it becomes easier. It becomes easier to let go.
Yes.
And yun nga, right now the result is amazing. I'm truly blessed. I'm truly amazed of what my siblings have accomplished. And I would venture to say that some are actually better than me financially. Right. So
That's nice.
yeah, and that's one of the good things that actually that came out of that.
So you're right, no? I wanted to point out of that as well. So, sa buhay naman talaga, anything that is beyond moderation.
Yeah.
You know, kape, for example, anything that is beyond moderation that is when it becomes out of balance. Nawawala na yung balance, right? And that is one of the gifts na kaya natin bibigyan sa mga kapatid natin. And we've seen that a lot of that happens sa stories ng, kasi from our 30 na participants, 8 of them are graduate na sa pagiging breadwinner. So they have stopped from providing for their families. And that is one of the stories na paulit-ulit natin naririnig from them na when I stop, the moment when I stop, gradually my siblings also pick up themselves and they found their own strength and learned to flex their own muscles. And for some reason, ako na breadwinner that have been delayed, ako pala yung, in a way, ako pala yung nagdi-delay sa growth nila. Ako pala yung parang in a way nag-hinder sila for them to flex their own muscles. So,
yeah, I'm sorry. I think I just wanna get this out. Kasi sometimes we think of breadwinning as money as the only thing that we could provide. But actually, we could provide so much more than money. The support, the encouragement, and when we stop giving, for example, the resources, because of course, obviously, you wanna save up for your own future as well. So it's actually good for you, one, because it's a good money management. It's being a good steward for your resources. But also, for me, what I realized is, I never stopped supporting my siblings. Encouragement, having conversation, mindset, just in whatever way, other ways possible. We were not indifferent with each other as well. Hindi naman kami nag-away na parang yung tipo, ayaw mo na ako supportan. No, my siblings are not like that. They are very grateful, in fact. that I have supported them, and they're happy as well to go out of their way and figure things out for them. So I think that's I just wanna put it there that there's so much more that we can give than money, and you know what? It's actually more valuable than money. The encouragement, when they are down, when they are in challenge, having conversation, being there for them, supporting them. So in a different way. So I also discovered different ways of supporting them when it's not all about money.
Yeah. Nice. That's really good. That's really good, no? I'm really happy that you're sharing that. Kasi one of the regrets, na major regrets ng mga breadwinners is, aside from hindi sila nakapansin sa sarili nila, is that they have wished na sana they had communicated themselves sa kanilang mga family members, and they have to wish that they have built a stronger relationship.
Right.
So that is being missed.
Mhm.
And sobrang prone niya sa mga like OFW setups. Lalo na, there's just so much that you can do with distance, right? There's
Yeah.
just so much that you can do with distance. But even so, even if hindi ka OFW, hindi kayo magkalayo. Even like for example, for my case, nandito ako sa Manila, and my family is based in Cordillera, right? The communication is not it's not continuous.
Mhm.
Like sometimes I even dread when I receive a message from them. Sometimes I dread it na
Manghihingi na naman to ng pera.
Oo, manghihingi na naman ng pera.
Oo.
So, parang yung communication na lang namin, yung relationship na lang namin, at some extent, pera na lang.
Pera na.
Yeah, and it's being, the relationship hindi na built na.
Right.
So, we are losing that. That's one of the major regrets ng mga breadwinners. Kasi, yun, walang relationship with the family. And you mentioned
So baliktad,
earlier-
no? Baliktad, when you are supposedly, it should build good relationship, well, quote unquote, kasi nagbibigay ka, kung nangyayari patuloy, it hurts the relationship.
Yes, yes.
Mhm.
I think one of that is because of resentment.
Mhm.
You have shared earlier. So, and I have seen this happen.
And not being able to say no. And to really say, na parang pag tipong, pagka walang pera, instead na i-explain why, parang wala na lang, dead man na lang, or something.
Yeah. So, tama no, parang there's no full expression of oneself.
Mhm.
Yun, that's parang a sad, that's a sad kind of relationship. Hindi mo kayang magsabi ng gusto mo.
Mhm.
And every time you say no when you actually meant yes, or you said yes when what you really, when you say no when what you really want is yes, to say is yes, or say yes when what you really meant to say is no. It's not a healthy relationship for
Mhm.
person.
Right.
Ayan. And I think one of them is you have shared earlier is resentment.
Mhm.
I found out that there is, in a way, there's a bandage when it comes to money. If you are always giving, there are cases na instead na grateful sila, it is also being diluted with yung parang there's a debt of gratitude, right? Utang na loob. They feel like yung nagre-receive pala, yung receive ng receive, feeling nila nababaon sila sa utang na loob. And there is resentment from there. Yan. And another one, and I have seen this, no, somebody from one of the book fair, someone came to me. And then sabi niya, can you sign this book for my ate? I thought it was for her. Sabi, hindi po, it's for my ate. Sabi ko, bakit? And I got to talk to her briefly, no? And nalaman ko na nasasaktan pala siya sa tuwing yung ate niya. She cannot say no sa kanyang mga sa tita, mga magulang. And she was crying. And I remember that kasi that's the same thing na sinabi ng kapatid ko sa akin.
Mhm.
When I finally published my book, and it's already out there, available sa public, my sister sabi niya sa akin, ate, I'm thankful na na-release mo siya.
Mhm.
Kasi, and she was crying.
It's amazing, no? Alam mo, the irony, no? Na parang all the while you thought na parang nahiya, natatakot kang bitawan yung help because masasaktan sila or magagalit sila or they will feel bad. But it's really the opposite
It's
pala.
hurting them din pala.
It's hurting them.
That's what ano na, kasi naiiyak siya, sabi ni ate, buti naman ako kasi nasasaktan pala siya every time na tumatawag yung mga family members and hindi. Alam ng kapatid ko yung situation ng finances ko. At nasasaktan siya na ako, parang I am being depleted too much. Ako yung nag-worry, ako yung nagkakautang. Because of that, and naging present ako na, oh my gosh, this is one of the gift pala na kaya kong ibigay when I stop being a breadwinner. When that time was right na I had to stop. So, you're right na it's not only financial. Hindi lang naman pwede natin ibigay. You can also can support them, you can do other things aside from finances.
One of the things that we do right now as a family, na I really like doing and I also recommend to everybody, is to have a conversation. Especially kami kasi, I'm not sure, but most families naman ngayon mayroong certain level of parang distance. Yung physically, for example, kami, yung brother ko is nasa Negros, yung parents ko nasa Negros. Yung isa kong brother is nasa Barco, obviously kasi seaman. Yung sister ko is nasa US, nandito kami. So, kalat talaga kami. But, we gather once a month to do a Bible study. So, while initially it's a Bible study, but it became an avenue for us to actually get updates from each other, na medyo chill and relax, and also obviously we talk about God in the process. So that's something that helps us bond more or at least continue the bond after, kasi pareho na kami, pamilya na kami lahat eh. So and it's difficult, and obviously may mga constraints tayo na not every time. For example, the last time my sister was here was like 2 years ago or 3 years ago. So, and hindi madali. But having that kind of avenue to at least get connected, get to know, and but I also felt like having a Bible study is a good excuse, should I say. Parang it's more, parang hindi siya masyadong, kasi imagine pag mag-meeting tayo monthly sa family, ano pag-uusapan natin, di ba? Paulit-ulit. But if we talk about God, we talk about the Bible, then it becomes more neutral. And also, everybody get to learn something while they also get to share their life through the stories, and then we pray together as well. So I think that's something that I would highly recommend for most people.
That's really nice.
So now fast forward, here you are right now. So nasaan ka na ngayon? Where are you when it comes to the breadwinning thing?
Yeah, so it's been a while now. Actually, I would say around 7 years. 7 years.
So the journey was 7 years.
7-8 years.
Wow.
And that's actually the shortest that we have in the study. So sa 8 nag-graduate.
Some never get out.
Never.
Yeah.
Yes.
Because nobody told them, and they just can't get out, and it was too late when they realized.
That's one. And then nobody told them. There was no conversation about this. You know, if meron mga conversation about this, it's not as in-depth na yung pinag-uusapan talaga siya sa like in a very deep level. So oftentimes, it's okay to talk about the sacrifices of the breadwinner. That's actually welcome and being pinapalakpakan natin yung sa ating community, the sacrifices of the breadwinner, of course, of your kuya or your ate. But when it comes to the toll of that sacrifices, when it comes to the burnout now, when it comes to the mental tawag doon, yung pagpapahirap or paghihirap ng isang hindi natin pinag-usapan. Like, it's not okay, parang pass, gano'n. So, I think that's one. Kaya, And I'm happy really, that's why I'm here din. That's why I want to talk about this. Kasi at least we're giving them that kind of avenue na hindi naman siya dapat, hindi pag-usapan yun, hindi naman siya dapat na, um, and the beautiful things when we talk about something now, so we talk about equality, and we talk about yung rights ng women, the rights of the LGBTQ, and we're happy because of those conversations that had happened in the past. Ngayon, we have, better, we are forwarding na mga laws about the protection of children, protection of women, equality sa workspace, and that is because there was a conversation that happened.
So everything starts in a conversation. Yeah.
Yes, and that is then the promise of what we're doing right now. The book, and then this kind of conversation. Yun yung gusto nating maibigay, give sa ating mga Filipinos that I hope they can na makita nila na it's okay na pag-usapan siya.
Now, for me, it's not, I don't think, ako at least personally, I also, on one end, I don't like the abuse that's happening. For example, sobrang-sobrang na talaga, overextended na yung pagsusupport mo and it's not healthy anymore. Yeah, may yung level talaga na sobrang unhealthy. But also, the other side of that is whoever is giving more has the capacity to actually give more. And whoever wants to give more, my belief as well is that God will also provide them of whatever resources they need. But as responsible people, we need to be responsible with whatever money, whatever resources that God entrusted to us. And I don't think it's a responsible thing to do, to just give your money to anybody who asks for it, even if you know that it's not doing them any good anymore. So, and in your book as well, one other thing that I would like to mention, because you share about a money management that somehow help you get out. And as I think about it, this may be one of the key. This may be one of the key because there's this feeling that you don't have to stop 100%. You still can give, but you have a limit to how much you can give. And at the same time, you get to create something. You get to pursue. You get to save. You get to pursue your financial freedom goals. So, would you like to share about that aspect? How does that help you transition, or should I say, get through?
Most definitely, no. But before I go there, kasi I feel like one of the parang yung inhibition ng mga breadwinners in dealing with this topic is that I think they feel like when we talk about this, they are being compelled to stop na ngayon. Hindi yun naman yung goal natin. So, but if you have been doing like 20 years ka na dyan and you feel like malalaki na yung mga kapatid mo, may mga families
able na sila.
Baka naman talaga tayo ngayon to stop. But there are also circumstances din naman talaga that they have to continue, yung mga ganyan na circumstances. Now, for those circumstances na they would still need to continue, tama ka doon, there should be a moderation in doing that. There should be management as well, na part kasi tama naman yun, na powered part yun ng pagiging steward natin, is we're also being responsible with what we have. And yun yung sinasabi natin lagi na, we would want yung mga breadwinners, kuya and athletes natin, na isama din nila yung pangalan nila sa listahan ng mga tao na pinoprovide nila that they care for and then they love. Huwag nilang kalimutan yung sarili nila. And then a big part of that is, of course, to set aside something for themselves, something for their future.
Right.
Right? And if, in case, na wala ka silang like...
But that's easier said than done, right? Yung thinking for yourself, providing setting, like let's say, for example, to save up for yourself, as opposed to just giving it away.
Lahat naman, anything that we are going to start to do, it's always hard in the start, right? Especially if wala tayong conversation na ganito na magsasabi sa atin gaano ka-important na to do that, no? isama yung sarili natin sa listahan. That it's not wrong to do that. It's not selfish na to help ourselves as well, right? Or to save for ourselves as well. Hindi yun selfish. I grew up with my lola, and through her, nakapunta ako sa church, and I have learned about
You attend the
God.
church?
Yeah, at a very, very young age, sobrang ako, talagang pitik niya ako, ganyan. But I think I grew up in faith, nasa high school ako, right? And I got to be involved with ministry, mas nakilala ko pa si Lord. Like, yung mahal ko talaga si Lord. I'm so in love with the Lord, no? And I'm grateful na nangyari yun nung college ako, nung high school ako. Because when I was in college, I was completely on my own. And lalo na nung nagka-work ko, right? The busyness got me. Parang it got me, it got in the way. Hindi ako nakapag-church because I was busy and all of that. Pero buti na lang I had the foundation na that relationship with God, yung confidence na even if I fail, I can go back anytime. At naniniwala ko na alam ko dito. Yeah,
So that's how you overcame mga challenges, you know?
Ay parang, oh my gosh, how have I done that kung wala si Lord? Parang wala yung grace ni God.
That's very true. Ako din, when I look at my life talaga, those times that I would say I partnered with God, those are the best moments. But don't get me wrong, it's not also just, there's a lot of challenges along the way. Kung alam mo yung parang tipong may challenge, yes, but just the fact na you know that you are not alone, and that I have somebody bigger than me, that is supporting me and who wants me to succeed. That's very important. That who wants me to get through. Then that's how I parang hindi siya in essence parang hindi rin siya mahirap o naging fulfilling siya, and naging fulfilling pa despite of those challenges, because I know that I was not alone and God was with me. And also I came to know Him more during those moments. I remember living abroad na sobrang very din. It's parang yung pinuntahan ko kasi is parang kumbento na we're in, sobrang isolated talaga. And then like malay ka sa family, you are with people that doesn't speak your language. Although good thing naman, I also learned the language. I speak Spanish because of that, right? So yeah, and but knowing na yun nga, going through challenges, kung mahirap talaga pagka if we do not believe in somebody bigger than us. Yeah. So we look at our country right now. What do you think? Do you follow the politics? What's happening in the country, or are you somebody who follows that, or more of what's your take when it comes to what's happening in our country?
So it's been a while, no? For a few years. Dati pa I don't watch news talaga. Kasi grabe nung effect din emotionally, no? And that's one thing na I have to protect them kasi my energy is hindi naman siya unlimited. So I got to protect that. No, actually when I was in church, I think it was this last Sunday, one of the minister shared his story wherein yung wife niya is very invested with especially with the ongoing issues right now with the funds, and he was not. And then his wife said, why are you not invested with what's going on with our country, and this is an issue na pang-Pilipino. And then he said, well, I have my Lord who covers me, no, and He is still in charge. So I was medyo ako nun kasi I was, that's me too. Ganyan no, na parang medyo I'm trusting the Lord, but I caught myself like, I think that is true. I am trusting the Lord with what is going on in the Philippines. But at the same time, I felt like I'm also being indifferent. Like, choose ko din na hindi ma-involve. And I think that is because it's not happening in my doorstep. Right? Siguro if the flood is, at the second floor of where I'm staying, perhaps nanggigigil din ako. Right? That is one. And pag na-call out talaga ako doon, na-call out din ako doon na I think we got to be involved more than though for me my take is that instead of ranting, right? Ranting online or cursing people,
Right.
especially, you know, and parang, kasi right now, if you go online, parang meron yung gigil eh. Yung parang kung maaari, sasakalin na lang nila yung ano. And we understand that because of course, this is not, and you know, deceit and all of those are serious matters.
Nakakagalit naman talaga.
Totoo. There is like, you know, betrayal of trust na nangyayari. And of course, nanigigil tayo doon. Yeah, and I think yun yung isa sa na-call out talaga ako sa sarili ko. But there's one thing that I wanted to raise, kasi sobrang present ako dito, is that I feel like, because I'm reading, a few years ago, naging present ako that there's a rise of teenage pregnancy, right? And there is also a trace of, there's an increased number of solo parenting. Actually, 2020,
Especially in the BPO industry.
Oh.
Yeah, especially in the BPO industry. Although I don't have the statistics and the numbers, but mayroon din naman sa ibang side, OFWs for example, it also does happen. But I would say, especially in the BPO industry, because one, the job is not very conducive to building a family. Imagine if two parents are working, one is at night or the other is day. I mean, let's face it, how can a relationship survive without those midnight conversations, without those spending time together?
Yeah.
Or even if they are both in the BPO, they did work for different companies, they work at night and then get busy doing. If we are not conscious, it's not difficult to understand why lots of separations happen.
Yeah.
Because
Oh my God.
the husband is spending with different circles, the wife with another circle. That's a recipe talaga for eventually them distancing, having no time, and sometimes it all boils down to just more on the domestic economy na lang, just providing, and yun na lang, and mahirap pagka ganun. So yeah, that's sad. But also I don't think that it's totally unsolvable. I don't think it's totally unsolvable. I think having the right priority, obviously having a schedule on when you can spend time together to make sure that you still have time for each other as husband and wife. Dates, for example, most couples when they get married, they forget about dates. So these are some of the things. There's a lot of factors, but yeah, to your point.
Most definitely, kasi na I'm at the forefront when it's happening. Sabi nga nila, when a thing is happening to other people, it's a challenge. But when it's happening in your family, it's a problem.
Alright.
Right? And I'm at the forefront of it, no? I'm seeing it near my house, right? So, and you know, kasi the data 2016 is that there's a rise of unwed moms, right? So 2016 it's 49%. So 49% of babies that are being born in 2016 are from unwed parents. And then 2018 it's 54%, and then it recent 2020 57%. So ibig sabihin that's around 1 million or around 900 babies that are, you know, na coming from unwed parents. And then apparently since there's also a rise of teenage pregnancy, especially for children that are younger than 14. So if we put them together, nagkakaroon ng impact sa family.
Mhm.
Kasi na-challenge talaga yung foundation ng family in this. Especially that oftentimes, there's actually 15 million of these single parents is naiiwan yung baby sa mom.
Mhm.
So that's 15, there's a 15 million of that. So imagine yung nasi-shake talaga yung foundation ng family.
Yeah.
Right?
agree.
So a lot of children are growing up without a father.
Yeah.
And even from families that are together, there's still din yung struggle of distance from the parents. So
And not present fathers. Kasi sometimes they're physically present,
yeah,
but also not really there.
not involved,
Not involved.
not invested.
So, I would say that primarily, this is also one of the reasons why I am very passionate about bringing back the family as the core unit of the society. It's because, well, I have a controversial take about some of these things. One is, our world right now is a world that distance us from marriage the way we know it. In fact, well, there was at some point, kasi, for example ako, up until recently, I'm not comfortable my God belief online.
Yeah.
Why? Because I'm afraid what people will say. And in my industry as well, it's more of every year we are being conditioned. These are the things that you do not talk about. You do not talk about religion.
Yes.
You do not talk about your belief, your faith. Why? Because you are going to offend other people. And that's true. I mean, we're really gonna offend
Yeah.
other people when we talk about our beliefs. But also, I think, but what's missing there is the one that's being offended doesn't understand that everybody has a right to share what their beliefs.
Yeah.
And so, for example, if somebody shares their belief that is not my belief, I don't get offended
Yeah.
because I know that it's their right. But in the same way that they have the right to share their beliefs, I have my right to share their beliefs. But for the longest time, I understand that they have the right to share their beliefs. I listen to their beliefs. I let them share their beliefs, but I wasn't free to share my own because I felt like I'm gonna offend people. But yun nga eh. I think we have become a society wherein parents, the family is really being destroyed by a lot of things. And I think when it comes to teenage pregnancies, yung mga ganun, I mean, that's an indication of parents not being present. Because if you are a present parent,
Yeah.
that will never happen. Because parents have intuition. They can feel like where their children is going if they are paying attention. But if they're not paying attention, because they are into there are those who are really very busy, which is, yeah, you can make it as a good excuse, but it still is an excuse. There's no excuse. I don't think there is a valid excuse for not being present or responsible.
Yeah.
So you'll have obviously there are situations could vary, right? Different. But there are also those who are parents who are, because I see this all the time. May mga anak na tatanda na still playing video games. Na-addict pa rin sa video games. I mean, if you are a father and you are playing video games, I'm not saying it's totally bad, but again, to your point earlier, it's moderation.
Yeah.
If you don't have a schedule to play video games and somebody become addicted to video games, instead of spending time with your kids, dating them, having conversation, you are on a video games or you are on whatever.
Especially if I think when they're on their own,
Yes.
that they're playing it on their own, like disregarding yeah, and then there's lack of discipline din. Parang,
Yeah.
yun na lang din yung way nila to, in their, I think in my mind, that would be their defense to relax, right? But at the same time, pwedeng through it na parang they were left alone at their own space.
Yeah.
To the father, if we're talking about father, and then the family is on a different space. Yeah.
Yeah, and this is as well some people look at it as a teenage pregnancy, or you can frame it in a different way. But actually, another way to look at it is that we are currently right now waging on a spiritual battle. This is not just about these issues. It's really about, there's really a force that if we are not aware of, we allow it to exist, and we allow it to control
Yeah.
our children, parents, and nobody is immune to this. Nobody's immune to this. It's so easy to get distracted nowadays, right? From video games to all kinds of stuff, social media, scrolling,
Exactly.
all hours, right?
And there's really a lot of noise happening that is causing us the actual conversation at home,
Mhm.
the actual building of relationship.
Cell phones as well is also a disruptor at home.
Yeah. For the part naman ng mga working parents is the business, most definitely. And really these things are, and I'm really concerned about this kasi nasi-shake yung foundation ng family.
Right.
There's a lot that, and even for me, I am like guilty ako on this part because there is a neutralizing that is happening especially in speaking religion.
Mm.
Like we are encouraged to neutralize it, no? It become politicized, like instead of speaking our
Beliefs.
belief candidly.
Mm.
We got to learn to speak it in the political terms, no?
Mm.
And I caught myself doing the same.
Mm.
Like instead of saying God or the Lord, I usually use the word universe, right?
Mm.
And I think this is so subtle, but this is important kasi especially when it becomes a habit, and before I know it is what it is na sa akin.
It becomes you.
Yeah, even in my book, parang I am so concerned in partly in yung mafe-feel ng iba,
Exactly.
that I am so neutralized
Mm.
instead of being bold of speaking my faith. And I feel like we lose in that battle if we choose to be neutralized.
Exactly.
We're losing in the battle na
This-
hindi natin alam.
And this is the reason why recently, di ba, this a very controversial figure in the US was assassinated, Charlie Kirk. And one of the reason why he was assassinated is because of the beliefs that he put out there. But also, it inspires a lot of youth right now to really just go out and share what you believe in.
Yeah.
Enough is that kumbaga parang, if they're able to share their beliefs about whatever that is, whether that's, I have nothing wrong against LGBT or feminism or climate, whatever. These are the things that they believe, and they are free to share that. Why are we not free to share what we believe in?
Yeah.
Now, yes, it contradicts a little bit on some of their beliefs, but that's what it is. I mean, that's why we have conversation, because, so I want to, ako din, recently lang din ako na free talaga to share those things. Now, some people, but don't make me, don't get me wrong, guys, I don't hate anybody. And in fact, sabi ko nga, even the corrupt people, I don't hate them. Yes, I am angry,
Yeah.
but I don't hate to the extent that, because I mean, let's face it, if you are I'm a Catholic, and I truly believe that if God's judgment will come
Yeah.
now, what will happen to these people? And we are exchanging like a few years of our lives on this earth when we know that there is
Judgment.
this is judgment day. There is a we are not for this place.
Yeah.
Okay, we all go back to God one day, and our time here is just very short, and we are compromising the 100 years of earth for eternity, for what we could get eternity, right? So, but also at the same time, I also know that when I look at the Bible, God's people, or God calls His prophet, God calls people to actually lead his people.
Mm.
He calls the prophets. So for example, whether it's David, and they are all very political, they are very much involved in the politics during their time. So obviously, I also respect people na who wanna distance themselves. That's perfectly okay. But at the same time, I also know that there are people that are being called to say something, that we are called to make a stand. And for those people na who felt like they wanna make a stand, to natatakot lang,
Yeah.
or they feel like nag-iisa sila, and that's also another purpose of what I am doing, that I want to give them like a platform, welcome them, and perhaps provide that kind of support for people na who wanna make a difference for this country.
Or
So-
perhaps open up conversation no, na even if magkaiba tayo ng belief, why don't we listen to each other? Baka
Exactly.
might be able to come up with a solution
Yes.
that works for both, right?
Yes.
And all of this, when we come together on the same table, it's for the good of our people. It's a good it could be the for the good of a small community, for a specific community, but put together, collectively yung effort natin, it could be good for the nation.
Yeah, I would borrow what Charlie Kirk said. Sabi niya, when people stop talking to each other, with each other, there's violence. So, ang kulang lang talaga kasi pag-uusap eh. Listening,
Yeah.
being able to listen and being able to open up ideas, and that it should be okay to have conversation. But then again, yun nga eh, there's a force that is preventing people from conversing. So,
Yeah.
but as long as we have conversation, I'm hopeful that we all could coexist. And well, at one point talaga, somebody gets to see what perspective,
Yeah.
as we age also, it also helps us understand better about life. And so
And speaking about force, no, I don't think the force is weak. I think
It's very strong.
very strong. Yeah, like even yung kaya lang nating makita, it's a lot.
yeah,
So imagine what we don't see, what we were not aware that is going on. No? So it's really it's a battle which we can fight with conversation.
that's right.
With this
And of
kind
course, a lot of
conversation.
prayer.
Of course.
A lot of prayer talaga, because kasi tayo mismo, we have our own personal battles.
Mm,
In fact, tayo yung pinakaunang target.
of course.
Corrupt. Corrupt the character,
Mm.
corrupt the habits, corrupt the thinking, bombards us with all these kinds of noise, provide us lots of distraction. So tayo mismo ang pinaka main target talaga. So and also, let's face it, na yung body natin is for this world, belongs to this world. Kaya nga, di ba, when we have to go to heaven, we cannot go to heaven with the same body. And our body talaga has inclinations for this world. It's really for the flesh. It's really the flesh. And it takes a lot. It takes a lot to fight that. And even the saints, it's an ongoing struggle. And only with God, only with God's grace, we're able to overcome that.
Most definitely, when we're left alone talaga on our own,
Yeah.
we cannot do this. That's why we got to build communities. That's why we got to talk about it. That's why we have to empower each other. Because it would really be a hard battle on our own. And then, another thing din kasi talaga is that I have this thing in my mind that if one of the reason kaya nag-prosper ang the evil ones, yung mga evil acts, it prospers, one, because they wanted that to happen, may mga ganun na desire. But I think another is that it's when the good people stay quiet,
Exactly.
when the good people don't do anything, when they don't stand up, when they quiet on the side, mas
Eh,
nagiging loud yung mga voices
Exactly.
na hindi maganda.
It's the same in our government, for example. If we see that we have a corrupt government, it's because the good people do not get involved. Right? Do not get involved. And so That's another reason why we need to be involved. If you want a better a government, a better country, we need to be involved. And this is also the reason why I'm starting to get involved in my own little way. It's because I have children. So I want my children to have to grow up in a better country than what I have found it. And I want to be able to say to them that, you know what, I did something. This is what I did. And I don't know if it's gonna contribute in a larger scale, but that's not my my problem, or that's not my intention. But at least I am getting involved. I am doing something, and hopefully you get to enough number of people that also is concerned, that also is getting involved, and enough number of people. We don't have to do a lot. We don't even have to be a president or a senator to make a difference for this country. We all can. And that's my invitation for to all my friends na nakakausap ko na, you know what, it's about time to get involved. And we don't have to wait until sobrang affected tayo before we get involved. We can start now with whatever platform, with whatever we do. So kung you are a father, become the best father for your children. Right? You are a mother, become the best mother. You are an employee, become the best employee. You are in business, become the best businessman that you can ever be.
Exactly. If you're a writer, write
You're
something that are beautiful, that would add value to
Exactly.
the people. And I when it comes to involving, especially with the things that is going around us, we don't only get involved when we call out the things that are going wrong. We also get involved by supporting those things that are going right.
Right, exactly.
Right.
So guys, support this podcast.
And then dare to dream.
Yeah, of
Dream
course.
big, right? I think that's the yung gusto nating mangyari is that people are not afraid to speak up for themselves and be expressive with their dreams, to go for them, and then do those things, because those small good things that you are doing on your own, this is impacting the nation as a whole. Especially, for example, sa mga breadwinners, no, once they are able to get out of the loop, no, from
The cycle.
yeah, the cycle that they are in, and they improve themselves. They went out, they're able to invest, they become better. This impacts the economy.
Yes.
As well, yung ginagawa nila lang parang sa sarili nila, it impacts their family, it impacts their community, it impacts the nation. So, but together, by doing the things, the both things, right, and then believing in a big God, right, yung mga maliliit na bagay na ito, these small things, collectively, we are impacting the nation in a good way. In a good way.
Yeah. So, we're about to close this. So, what would be your advice for anybody, or what would be your message for anybody who wants to dream big, or who wants to dare to dream?
Yeah, I guess one is listening to, there is something, the voice inside of us.
Right.
For me, kaya ko din pinupush na for the breadwinners to give a boundary on their giving, to give a boundary on their breadwinning. Kasi I believe na lahat tayo sa mundo, we're here for a purpose. And those purposes are individual. And it's our job to listen to that voice. The thing is that we actually know it. For sure, you know your own calling. It's something that makes us sleepless at night.
Right.
Those conversations that we have in our head, we've got to listen to them and then do something about it, right? So we can start from there. And the good thing with goals is that once we start doing it, grace would follow.
That's
it will
right.
teach us, it will give us the people that will help us along the way. It will give us the tools on how to reach it. It will give us the platform on how to spread further. And then from one goal, actually when you achieve something, right? For example, for me, I did the first book. Meron pa palang susunod. It's the first goal is a preparation for a bigger goal.
Right.
So it's just parang just wanted you, and the first step is for you to follow.
Mhm.
And then from there, God will bring you to bigger heights, to
Allow
bigger
God.
goals. Yeah.
Yeah. So that's so you allow God to be to lead you,
Mm.
right? So when it comes to dreaming big, I do think that God, just what you mentioned, there's that inner voice. So it's actually God who planted the seeds in our
Exactly,
hearts
yeah.
for the things that He wants us to accomplish. And but the end point of that is for Him to be glorified, so that He will know, that so that people will know that we have a big God. Because imagine when you
Yeah.
when you are succeeding, and then you bring up God in the process, and so people would, wow, ganun pala ang mangyayari when you have a God that supports you. You have the courage, you have uh, the resiliency
Yeah.
to go through adversity, because God is with you, and if God is with you, who can be against you? Right?
Yeah, exactly. And in your story, parang nakikita nila din yung grace ni God, nakita nila yung power ni God. And then for some people, especially those who are young in their faith, especially those who don't have that kind of relationship with God, nakikita nila din na they have a blueprint
Mhm.
na ganito pala magmahal si God, ganito
Ah.
pala mag-guide si God, ganito pala mag-provide si God.
Mm.
And again, nakikita yun ng ibang tao, naririnig nila yun because we're talking about it,
Right.
because we're sharing about it.
And also they can see it in our lives,
Mm.
right? So we talk about it, and they can see it in our lives. So we are witnesses
Yes.
for the God that we believe. So, Jay, thank you very much for the time, for having this, for spending this afternoon kanina. Now it's evening already.
Yes.
So, thank you, and I look forward for more success. And for those who want to get your book, where they can find your book?
Yeah, it's available on fully booked. So in nationwide, actually.
All
you can-
branches of Fully
Yes,
Booked? Okay.
all branches are fully booked. Otherwise, if nasa ibang bansa kayo, it's available on Amazon. So whichever part of the country.
Can they get it in hard copy or ano
Yes,
lang?
they can have it in a hard copy, or pwede din yung digital copy via KDP. So in any point of the world, you can order it
Mhm.
via Amazon.
And where can they find you? Can they follow you?
Yes, yung name, my author name, you can find it. It's JBB.
We'll put it in our
Yeah.
in our YouTube, in the comments below.
Right.
We'll put the
Link at the bio.
link. Yeah, the link, and so where you can buy the book, as well as the link on her profiles and social handles. We'll put it on the link below.
Exactly. Thank you.
All right. So thank you very much, and more success.
Thank you everybody.